my channel. I am Maricita Colors in English. Today I will make a crochet pattern of this beautiful sunflower. For the base I will use the hook number 3,50 millimeters and yarns of yellow and brown, and both are of the same size. Welcome to my channel. I am Maricita Colors in English. Empezamos. I will begin with a magic ring, un aro deslizado o anillo mágico. The yarn over my finger, around my finger, the long yarn in the back, and I will make the hook inside of the first ring, look, and I bring the yarn. Slowly I make my finger out. And here I will begin with 2 chains, dos cadenetas en español, 1 and 2. Here I will make the famous puff stitch, el punto piña, garbanzo, bodoque en español. Yarn over the hook, we insert in the ring, we bring the yarn. Now we have 3 loops. I must make one more time, yarn over the hook, again into the ring, we bring the yarn. Now we have 4 loops and plus the first, yarn over the hook, and we pass for the 4, and now I have 2, yarn over the hook, and I pass for the last 2. This is the famous puff stitch, punto piña en español. I must make 12 puff stitch, but now I will make 3 times the hook inside into the ring. Only the first stitch has 2 times, but now I made 3 times. Now I have 6 loops plus the first stitch, yarn over the hook, I pass for the 6, the yarn I pass for the 6, yarn over the hook, and I pass for the last 2. This is the puff stitch. I must make 12 of these puff stitch. Again 3 times we bring the yarn, and we must have 6 loops. Yarn over the hook, we insert into the ring, and we bring the loop. You must you must let a little loose the yarn. Now yarn over the hook, I have the 6 loops. I pass the yarn for these 6 loops. I have 2 now, and I yarn over the hook, and I pass for the last 2. Now I must repeat all of these. So I will back when I have 12 of these fantasy stitches. Now almost I finished this first round. Here I count 6, 8, 10 and 12 fantasy stitches. I will make this flower little because this is a little big. Here I have from long almost 19 centimeters of long. And this pattern I will make only with 1 round, but I will show you how I made another flower, the big flower. Here I will make 1 slip stitch where in the second chain that I make in the beginning, you remember, we insert the hook into this chain and we make the slip stitch. Here we close the magic ring with this yarn of the beginning. And then we must to sew with the needle. In my big flower, I made two rounds. I will show you. Here, I made 2 chains of the beginning, and in this arc, I will make 2 times the hook into this arc. And I must pass the yarn for these 4 loops. We let 1, and now we have 2, and we close the last 2. Only in the first fantasy stitch, only I pass 2 times, but in the next, I make the 3 times. In the same arc, I repeat the 3 times the yarn into this arc. So I duplicate. I close the 6 and I close the 2. And this is the I have here 2 fantasy stitches. I must duplicate 2 fantasy stitches in every arc. So we pass the fantasy stitch of the previous round and we repeat 2 times the puff stitch. So 3 times the yarn, I have 6, we close the 6 and we close the 2. And in the same arc, I repeat and I make again another fantasy stitch. Like this, I made my big flower. But this flower, this pattern, I only will make with 1 round. I only make this for show you how I make. When I finish this round, I must have 24 fantasy stitches, and you must join like in the first round in the second chain. So now I will show you how I close here because I will make only 1 round for my sunflower. Girasoles en español. Here in the second chain I repeat and I make the slip stitch, punto deslizado. So we insert the hook in the second chain of the beginning, we close and I pass again the yarn. For close, I cut the yarn, cortamos el hilo, and I finish to pass the yarn. And I push a little the last stitch. And I finish my base. If you want to make the flower bigger, only you must make the second round. Now I will use the yellow yarn, el hilo amarillo. I will make the flowers of my sunflower. So where I cut the yarn in this stitch, I pass the yarn or the hook and I bring the yarn, the yellow, I make 1 chain, and in my flower I made 14 chains in every flower, 14 chains. I will show you how I make these 14 chains, but my pattern, it will be a little, the flower is not so big. So I have, here I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 chains. Now I will insert the hook in the second chain. Look, in the second chain I will make a single crochet, un punto medio. In the next stitch I make 1 double crochet in the next chain. And after this, in the next chain, I will make a treble crochet. So it's 2 times the yarn over the hook. We insert, we bring 1 loop, we pass for 2, we pass for 2, and for the last 2. This is the treble crochet. Doble vareta en español. In the next stitch, I repeat, I make again another treble crochet. So after this, I will make in every chain 1 double crochet, only 1 in every chain. Here almost I finished the last double crochet, and I will join with the base, with this bottom, and in the next stitch, In the next stitch I make a slip stitch and we join the flower to my bottom. And from here I repeat again the 14 chains, las 14 cadenetas. This is the same that I made in my big sunflower. I only made this for that you can see how I made. Here I have the 14. I insert the hook. In the second, I make a single crochet. After this, in the next chain, one double crochet, vareta en español, and in the next stitch, one treble crochet. We must make two treble crochet. In the next stitch, another treble crochet. I must make 2 times the yarn over the hook for make the treble crochet. So like this I made the same in my big sunflower. Now I will show you in my little pattern. And for make the flowers I will use the hook number 3 millimeters. I only will make in my little pattern 10 chains. I pass the yarn, I make 1 chain, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 cadenetas. And I will repeat. Look, this is the front of my bottom. I insert the hook in the second chain and I make again the single crochet. I repeat the same like the another flower of the big flower. In the next one, double crochet. Una vareta en español. Single crochet, punto medio. And here, one treble crochet. 2 times the yarn over the hook and we pass the yarn from 2 in 2. This is the treble crochet. Again, another treble crochet in the next stitch. En la próxima cadeneta. En la siguiente cadeneta. And here again we make the double crochet, one in every chain. I will tell you how many double crochet I have at the end of this flower. Here I have 2 double crochet, the third double crochet, la tercera vareta or punto alto en español. The 4 and the 5 double crochet. So my flower is not so big like the another that has 14 chains. And in the next stitch, I must pass the fantasy stitch, and here I will make the slip stitch, and we join our flower. And here again the 10 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 cadenetas. And we repeat again. In the second chain we make the single crochet, the double crochet in the next chain, chain, cadeneta en español, hook, ganchillo or aguja. Here I must make the treble crochet 2 times the yarn over the hook and we make the treble crochet. And in the next stitch we make the last treble crochet. Only are 2 treble crochet, one in every stitch, una en cada punto. And again 1 double crochet in every stitch. And here only we must repeat all these stitches. When I have 12 fantasy stitches, I must have 12 flowers. In my big sunflower, I have 24 fantasy stitches in the second row, so I have 24 flowers. Flores en español. Here I have 4 double crochet, and here I will make the 5 double crochet, and we join in the next stitch. We pass the fantasy stitch up, we make the slip stitch, and here I have the second flower. Pétalo en español we say too. So I will continue and I will back when I am half or almost finished this round. Here I show you how is the long of my little petal is 6 centimeters approximately, and in my big flower is almost 7 centimeters and half. Remember that this big flower has 2 rounds in the base. Here almost I finish my sunflower. Look the difference. Here in the big I sew the petals for that are more together, but you can do it like you prefer. Now I will make the last petal for finish my sunflower. Girasol en español. Here I have half or single crochet, double crochet, 2 treble crochet, and the 5 double crochet. I join in the next stitch with the slip stitch, punto deslizado en español. And here I make the last 10 chains, 10 cadenetas. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I insert the hook in the second and I make the single crochet, punto medio, in the next the double crochet, 1 double crochet, and in the next stitch the treble crochet. We must make 2 treble crochet, 1 in every stitch. And the next treble crochet, doble vareta en español. You must make 2 times the yarn in the hook for make the treble crochet. And here for return only we make 1 double crochet in every chain. Now almost I finish the sunflower, and I will join with the first petal. I will join with 1 slip stitch, for that our sunflower is all together. Here I pass again the yarn inside of the chain. I cut the yarn and I finish to pass the yarn into this last stitch. And we finish our nice sunflower. Here I have 12 petals. You can make big or little like my pattern. Here I have almost 14 centimeters of long from petal to petal. The base, the bottom is 4 centimeters. And you know that all depends of the yarn and the hook that you choose. The important is that you repeat the same stitches. Now I will show you how sew one of the yarns. I will use the big needle o aguja punta roma en español. For the reverse of my flower, I will pass the yarn, and here I will pass the yarn around the needle for make secure our yarn. Don't pull so much your yarn for don't make a stretch over thread. And little to little, only in the reverse in the center of the stitches, I start to pass the yarn. The needle is not in the front, it's only in the center of the stitches. And this yarn, it will be super secure. I invite you to subscribe here in my channel Maricita Colors in English. It's totally free and you can find me in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Pinterest. So here in the reverse of the petal, I try to make secure our yarn. Here I will cut the yarn. Cortamos el hilo. And like this you will try to sew all the yarns in your sunflower. You can decorate all with this beautiful flower. You can decorate headbands, bunny hats. Here in my big flower, the petals are a little longer. For this I join with one sew here in the back, but you can let like you prefer. And ready, we have now our beautiful sunflower. You can do it big or little like I showed you. I hope that you like and we see us in my next tutorial. Muchas gracias y hasta la próxima. Chao, chao.